We ready, guys?
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
we've been recording.
Okay, well, hey, everybody, welcome to the new episode of the Future Whales podcast. I am Brendo Macabo, and with me today, we have an all-star cast of Admiral Athrana, Bragsy Jr. Gentlemen.
And furious because Brendo's mic is still awful. When are you buying a new one?
Yes.
Furious?
You cut out when you tried to say Furious's name.
That's okay. He's
Some
just a
bullshit.
robot. He cuts out in real life. That's probably why.
I do. You see, that's the thing. It's a disability, and you brought it up on the podcast, so now I feel like a sense of shame that I normally wouldn't.
Good, you deserve to.
It's fun. So anyway, we're all here hanging out, talking some Swgoh. And I like how I say Swgoh, but I meant Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Yeah, Swgoh is the name of a site.
That's how programmed Swgoh is into my mind. It's just... Yeah, but anyway, so we're going to talk about some stuff here. Mainly Rey Jedi training and her return. Some stuff about the Sith raid and some other little odds and ends. So let's just dive right in here. Jedi Rey and BB-8 are coming back right now, actually. So what's going on, gentlemen?
Doesn't affect me at all.
Doesn't
Yeah,
affect
me neither.
Oh wait, no, I will
Never.
get some Zetas from the BB-8 Mythic because I think I can do that now that I have Jedi Training Ray.
Yeah, I'll second that. That's true. I'll get a little bit of stuff out of the Mythic deal. I'm happy about that.
Actually, really easy. It's a cakewalk.
Yeah, but I was a Resistance member short last time. I'm pretty sure.
I had
I
enough
remember right.
resistance for it. I just couldn't do it because my resistance was like Gear 8, Gear 9.
Yeah, I feel like I was a man short. I forget though.
Might have been. I mean, it's easy to but you're not now, so you're good to go.
Oh yeah, I should just walk right through it.
Oh, I mean, okay. So the Ray thing, Ray's a little bit complicated for me right now. There's just sort of these like discordant threads of facts. So number one, Ray is by far the best character in the newest raid, the Sith raid. The Ray team is the only one that can reliably get you like 6 to 8% damage in heroic. No other team comes close. So then they go about nerfing her because their logic was that the emphasis guilds are putting on raid teams is making it less competitive for other teams to find their place in the raid, which we'll touch on that later, but it's a healthy slice of bullshit. And then the way they brought the event back very quickly has kind of hurt a lot of people. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So where do you want to start?
Guys and say, gentlemen, let's look at the raid here.
I don't want to. I say we don't touch on the raid too much because we did talk about it a lot last pod, both the recording with Lucas and also the pod before that.
It's our new life. We're going to be talking about the Sith raid.
Are we really talking about it, or is it just you complaining about it again?
Mostly me
Both.
complaining about it. That's kind of
Both.
like that's the glue. I mean, like for me, well, think about it this way. I mean, like her nerf didn't appear to be as bad. I mean, they kind of cut the exposed damage in half, and they dropped the raid health on the bosses by what 5%, I think. So
Only in phase one. Only in phase one. The 5% reduction was in phase one.
So apply for phase 4.
It will only apply to phase 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just phase one.
He's the same health in phase 4 then.
He's not. Well,
Yeah, I think unaffected. I think.
Right. Phase 4 unaffected. Only phase 1 drop.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Ray. It's really, my problem with Ray is that she's the only reliable team. There's really no other team that could replace her damage. Period. That exists now. None of the characters that are currently pay to play that we're waiting on becoming farmable are even close to that.
Talzin.
I don't think Talzin comes close. I mean,
She doesn't come close, but first off, I'm just annoyed they've been mouthing to us so long that, oh yeah, she's going to be free to play soon.
Yeah, that's such a lame thing. Wicked as well. I'm like, come on, bro. Throw the bear at me already.
Remember, since before they went into shipments, they said they're going to be free to play farmable soon.
Yeah, and that was quite a while ago. I need 100 wicked shards to get 7 stars, and I totally could have been done by now, but I've been expecting them to do it, so I stopped spending in it. It sucks.
Anyway, that's not
On
your
the subject, going past Ray, how ridiculous is it that they nerfed the Night Sister team when they're pay to play?
I mean, so that Night Sister team, it was kind of insane, wasn't it? Like, you basically just kept going, no matter what. She couldn't stop you, because I don't think she has much AoE, does she?
Oh, no, that team actually, that team, yes, that team does replace the Ray damage. But they killed that. They killed that before they were even free to play. And,
I mean, I'm okay with it, but it's just something that they should have fixed before they released it, because it just gets old. Anytime something's wrong, what do? They nerf something. It's just getting old. It seems like the answer to everything lately.
why didn't they fix it when it was doing the same thing in Arena?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been the same for a while, so I don't know.
That's how the Night Sister team works in Arena. And
Yeah, exactly.
then, like, when it works the same way in a raid, it's a problem? Crazy.
Or not even that. I'm fine if it is a problem. I can see it as a problem, but like they didn't see that coming.
Problem when it was doing
That should have been one of the first things that they tested.
I would argue that Arena is as important as a raid.
Even more, maybe.
Maybe, and that's exactly what Night Sisters did since they came out. Night Sister cheese.
And it's like a philosophy thing, though. Are we cool with it or are we not cool with it? And in Arena, I'm cool with it because there's ways to counter it and it's not so bad. In the raid, I understand it's kind of like exploiting, so it doesn't, takes away from the sport and all. But they should have known that before they released it. It's pretty simple and straightforward. That's one of the 2 teams that were released recently, right? They had that released, and then they had Jedi Training Ray and Kylo Ren Unmasked. Those are the last 3 things we got. You would think that'd be the first 3 things they'd test, right? I mean, all these guys are pay to play. They just came out. Why didn't they test them first?
Yep.
That's how it goes for me. In my mind, like if you're testing, I don't know how long they had to test, but that should have been the first thing you did. The hardest, most expensive things to get in the game, I'd probably check those first if it were me.
And it was no doubt exactly what they tested. It's just
and 2 out of the 3 were nerfed, right? 2 out of the 3 teams were nerfed. Night Sisters got nerfed, Jedi Training Ray got nerfed, and Kylo Ren Unmasked, he survived.
But Kylo Ren Unmasked team does not even come close to doing the damage the Night Sisters or Jedi Ray could do. So
yeah, but
it is a good team. It is a good team for like phase 2. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do decent.
Phase.
They're not the same level, but it's still decent, which is important.
Because you can't use 4 Jedi Training Ray teams. You're not going to be able to do every phase. So
all you need is 2%, Brendo. All you need is 2%.
Yeah, and Kylo Ren Unmasked does a lot of damage in phase 2.
You need your Rays to do 4% damage in 1 and 2. Blueprint.
But just anyways, I'm just saying those guys are all pay to play, and yet 2 of them got nerfed pretty much immediately upon release.
Yeah, I mean,
one of them was working exactly as intended. Ray was working exactly as intended, so that's not our fault.
Hold on, Furious. The thing about the Night Sisters is that's how they were intended to work. That's how they've worked since they came out. They've been doing the exact same thing in Arena and play yet, and they get nerfed, which is weird to me. The Ray thing's funny because it's kind of funny. I mean, you're the most recent hero's journey character becomes dominant in the raid that comes out 3 months later, and then she gets nerfed because she's too good. It's kind of funny, and she's not even that good. She's not even putting up ridiculous damage, mind you. It's just more than anybody else.
Yeah, she was just doing her job too well. They're like, okay, she can still do it good, but just not that well. That's a little much.
The Ray teams, the Ray event coming back. Like, I'll tell you this much. The Guild of Men Mandalorians, we only have 17 people that have Ray Jedi training right now, which is a little bit silly because we're 120 million guild. So we're pretty developed, but bunch of people didn't have Rey for one reason or another. So I started like getting people like thinking about farming her and getting blueprints to what they have to do. And basically I was encouraging them to stop doing what they're doing, finish up what they're doing, if they need to finish it, but really dive headfirst in the Rey. And then like 2 days after I came out with my little Rey program, they announced Rey again. So I thought that was kind of funny. And I don't have a chance to get her. Which I will admit, on one hand, you have the effect that it's their own damn fault for not getting the vets. I mean, the vets have been farmable. You needed them since before the first Rey event. And if you couldn't get them, then you needed to get them. Didn't get them. So it's a little bit silly to me, but short notice shit kind of gets on my nerves because I don't see us going from like 17 to 40. If we could get another 13 more Reys out of this, I'll feel pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know what our final number is going to be.
I know one of the guys in one of the guilds, Kevs, said like basically as soon as he could, he just kept working on the vets like through the event basically, and he finished them as quick as possible so that because he knew it was going to be big. He knew she was going to be useful, and so as soon as she came back, he wanted to have her.
Plays this game should know to do, but like nobody ever does that shit. Drives me crazy. But whatever. I don't know. It's still a little frustrating. I have Rey, so I don't care, but I just know there's a lot of people in my guild that were working her that probably are too far behind to get her.
Yeah, I don't know who could have missed the boat on this one. I mean, come on, man.
I just go by 4 months as the estimate.
The only people that should miss the boat are people that didn't have their BB-8 or anything ready yet.
Consequence is that I was going to have it after Rey came out. I was going to have it that, you know, I was pushing basically to get us transitioning for people that don't have Rey to get them out of the guild. And now we can't do that until the third time around. A requirement when she needs to be a requirement because it's just absurd to expect somebody to be able to get her on this short notice. I can't do that.
Yeah, people should have just been farming them the whole time.
Everyone, like I missed R2 to say I couldn't 7-star R2 the first time. What did I do? I got my Empire where they needed to be. I got the extra star there. I didn't get Thrawn the first time around. Got him the second time around.
I got Thrawn to 5 or 6 stars the first time. I had to wait to get him to 7 stars. But I'll tell you right now, a couple weeks later, they were all good to go, and I wasn't going to miss it. You know, I got them ready immediately.
No. I mean, I think that's the lesson in all this. You know, like my ability to be sympathetic to people. Like I'm sympathetic by this just for the sheer fact that I realize that most of the guild still isn't going to get her, and we need her to even give the heroic a second thought.
Just start kicking people who don't have her. It's a great idea.
We're going to replace her with.
I know. Well, if you want to do the Sith raid, I mean, it's going to be true. So the point is this. If there's an event that's in the game and you miss it, you need to remember that it's going to come back, and it's really hard to
4 months. Always estimate 4 months. That's my estimate.
It's hard for things to be a sure bet in this game, but that's a sure bet. If you invest in those 2 characters, along with the other 3 that you might already have, you're going to be able to get Jedi Training Rey when she comes back. So that's really big. Same thing with CLS. You know, you might not know when he's coming back. Same thing with Thrawn or whoever, you know. They're going to come back. So if you're not ready, then maybe you should work on it.
Do a legendary event and you can't make it. It's like the second time around, you have an open book test for it. You know, it's like you know what you need. Everybody did it before. So there's no mystery.
And all of those characters are extremely important. You know, BB-8, Jedi Training Rey, Thrawn, CLS, all these people, they're going to be people that you can put somewhere and do something, and it's going to help you out. So you don't want to keep missing them. That's going to just set you back.
But I wasn't trying to call out somebody by name necessarily. It just came into my mind. There are people that will not get Rey Jedi Training, and I hate to say this. If you are not going to get Rey Jedi Training, there's not really a place for you in a raiding guild at this point in the game. And that's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. You need Rey Jedi training. The problem is the way they did her. I can't bring my guild up to getting her until the third time around because it just is unrealistic to get 33 Jedi Reys on 2 weeks' notice. So
yeah, that's kind of the problem. If you really want to get into her like quick and start getting your Treya shards out, you're gonna want these other people to have her because she can put quite a dent in things. You're gonna want them to have these other people who are really good too. So if they don't, I mean, it's going to set you back. Nobody wants to be set back.
There are teams for raids. That's just the way it worked. I mean, it's the same sense when, like, Cat came out. We were using Jedis for Phase 1, like Jedi counter teams, Jedi tenacity teams. Like, do you remember that? That was just the Dark Ages. A droid team for Phase 2, a Zader team when Zader came out for Phase 2.
The Dark Ages.
It really was. It was bad, dude. We were living hand to mouth, dude.
I remember. I know. I was using I'm a Gundai lead and stuff.
Yeah, it's insane. So, like, this is where we're at right now in the Sith raid. We're just mining coal, and unfortunately, you need Rey Jedi training, you need Imperial troopers, you need First Order, you need Night Sisters, and of those, I have Rey Jedi training. Everything else is a bunch of undergeared wet noodles. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, I think we could probably safely turn the page on Rey. I think I've complained enough. Do you guys have anything you want to add to that? Any complaints about her, getting her, how your guild's doing? Oh, by the way, how are your guilds doing? I'm assuming both of you are in kind of guilds that, you know, the majority of the players aren't close to having Rey.
I have no idea how my guilds are doing in Rey. I haven't been beating them up about it.
All right, so anyway. Let's just talk a little bit. We already kind of hit it here, but like Sith raid, teams that work. How about this as a more blanket question? Is it fun?
Yes.
Is the Sith raid fun? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, I don't know how much more clear I could be, Thrana.
I mean, with you and your mic, you could be a lot clearer.
Mike, we're getting personal. I like it. I feel like this is a congressional hearing. It's like,
yeah,
where were you?
When's your birthday? We're going to get you a mic.
In Reykjavik. Why were you? You were in Reykjavik the same time as Putin. What were you talking about? It's like, and then you came back with a bundle of crystals on your account. What happened? What did you give the Russians?
Anyway, no, I hate it. I barely play it because I'm like, this is just awful.
Wow, really?
Honestly, I kind of hate it too. It looks great. I really do love the way it looks visually. But like, the more I play it, the less I like it. And
it's so boring.
Like, Phase 1 is the problem. In the beginning of really, Nihilus is the problem in the raid. He just isn't fun. I'm fine with Scion. I'm fine with Treya. And Phase 4 is fun when you pull Nihilus out of the equation. But it's like, it gets to the point, and I'll be honest with you, I could see it in how our guild does it. Like, we're a 120 million power guild. We're doing right now tier 5. And it's been up for a long time. We're burning tickets. And it's not that people are struggling. It's that I don't think people want to play it. And I don't know what to do. As an officer, I don't know what to do.
We're running T4s just because that's the only way we're going to get them done. We tried a tier 6 initially. Like, we were all excited. Everyone tried. We did horribly. And then people were just like, all right, this is stupid. And I agree.
Why didn't you just get through what I would have done if I were you, and what we did in Mandalorians was just keep the tier 6 open until we completed it. There's not a time limit for it.
Yeah, but then you're burning tickets.
Yeah, but then you'll cap out on
tickets. You're burning tickets for a raid that you can't do. So just burn the tickets, get past tier 6, and
but
then
you can do the raid at lower tiers.
Yeah, I think I'm doing tier 4 or 5, I forget, but we're clearing it every day.
And the rewards suck, I bet.
I'll tell you right now. I'm like number 1
in comparison to T6, not in comparison to T6 versus burning those tickets. No, it's worth it.
I get a lot of guild currency, so I'm happy.
Oh, the guild currency is truth. No, but for me, it's like what we did. We just kept. I think we ran it. We were burning tickets a little bit. We just said we're just going to finish it. So we took an extra day, finished it, burned some tickets, and we never have to worry about T6. When we're ready, we can just do heroic. But we're not ready, obviously, because we can't do T6. But I'll be honest with you. If you just the Nihilus stuff is the problem, but I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, Mandalorians is a solid guild of raiders. People just don't like it. I can't make people
so boring. You're standing there
I've tried
just
for the-
smacking a wall for 10 minutes until you die.
I agree. I mean, it's just really you just have to grit out your try to see. That's like the real like the takeaway that I really got with Lucas is just how if you cut your guild in half and you focus on phase 1 and 2, having your raid teams, have everybody have a raid team, and everybody does 4%. 50 people use one team to get through 2 pieces of the raid, and then phase 3 and 4 pretty easy. That's how I look at the raid now, and
I think that's
I mean,
how
really,
it's
raid's the key to that, you know. And if you don't have raid, you can't do heroic, and then it's just brute force to get through 3 and 4.
The raid's just disgusting because it's just like it's not fun. They made the mechanics so terribly. I could go on about it, but that's another pod. You know,
But my problem is it's not fun. Like, and I notice my guild members don't want to do it. So it's like
it's not fun because the mechanics are garbage, and you're just like, yep, I'm just gotta hit this thing a couple million times. All right, I'm bored.
Use half of the teams that are fun.
The one part that I don't like about it, I guess, is that if you're like, oh no, I hit that button at the wrong time, you just die, and that's it. It's just so lame, kind of. I just don't like that. Well, you're just like it's just the don't get annihilated mechanic that I don't enjoy. Like that's 90% of what you do, right? You're like, just don't let one of my dudes get annihilated, and that's it.
Chris, how often do you successfully get past an annihilate by putting the buff up at the right time?
All the time. I don't have a problem doing it, but it's just I literally have to sit and pay attention and check my buffs and crap, and like it's just boring how you have to sit and look through all that crap, and I don't know, it's not
50% with me because sometimes he takes an extra turn and it's like, well, I didn't put it up in time and I'm dead, or I turned it too early and he didn't annihilate. That's the best one. The like 5% of times he just doesn't annihilate when annihilate's up. It's like,
yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely, most of the time I do pretty well, but there are definitely a few times where I was like, oh, what the hell just happened? And I lose a dude and I just have to restart. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I think one thing I'd love to see the cooldown or the length of that ability go from 1 turn to 2 turn, just to get rid of those times that he doesn't use annihilate when the line annihilates up, and that stacking tenacity has to go because I'd like to be able to use fun teams in that phase.
Yeah, that's another one.
I'd like to use fun teams anywhere in the raid.
There's so many people. There's so many people in the game that do unique debuffs that are really cool and a lot of fun, and it's just like, nah, not any of those. Don't use them.
Look, like if you don't want CLS to just lock the dude down with like TM removal, give him the TM removal. I don't care. Sure, it'll hurt Ray. I stopped caring. Just give me something.
But use teams.
Yeah, seeing resist 1,000 times in a run, it's a little weird.
Resistance took over the heroic tank. It's like I just feel inundated with resistance and raids now, and it's just like, this is why I'm like light side heavy, is because like that's what you need to excel at things. It's just the easiest path, and then dark side territories come out, and I'm like a wet noodle. It's like, here I go, guys, Leroy Jenkins, and I'm dead.
I think the issue I have, like I said, is with the annihilate thing, because what could they even give us in the future that's just going to go around that? I mean, that's kind of how are you going to work around that in the future? It's still going to do the same thing, I imagine. So it's not going to be like the tank was, where when these other things started coming out, you started kicking some ass and taking names. Like when Thrawn came out and stuff, people started clearing phases and stuff like that. Among other people, but you know what I'm saying.
There's no character that we're waiting to get to free to play now, whether it's Panda, whether it's Marauder, whether it's any of the teams, Visas, whether it's any of them that's going to make you get a 4 to 8% clear from that team. I don't see it.
Panda?
So,
yeah,
sort
of executioner. What everybody calls the executioner.
Never heard him called Panda.
Really? Dude, yeah, it's because he's like got a black and white stripe.
I'm pretty sure we refer to him as Panda all the time on the show, Tim, if you're paying attention.
I think I'm listening to you.
It's old Brendan, because he's full
70% maybe.
Knowledge.
Yeah, I agree with you though. That's the thing, is the mechanics that they built, I don't see how you're gonna fix that to go around it eventually. So I
It's
don't know.
insane that they said that like there's too many people are using Ray. Well, guess what? That's the only thing that works in phase 1. So what do
She
you
just
want?
came out. She just came out like 3 months ago. Why wouldn't a lot of people be using her? She just came out 3 months ago. She's coming back for the second time. A lot of people are still excited about her. It's
Yeah,
just about to
people.
be released on. It was just released on DVD, and the Blu-ray comes out in like a week. A lot of people are excited to watch the movie again and stuff like that. And that's the movie that she's in. So I don't understand why they wouldn't think a lot of people would be hyped about it.
Tell you what,
she's an enjoyable character to use.
dudes, I should say, dudes. If that's the gift they're gonna give us for the DVD release, for the Blu-ray release,
Oh, that's weak. Yeah.
I'd rather have Bodhi Rook. I'd rather have Bodhi Rook version 2.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say I better get Bodhi. Like, I swear to God, if they just gave us Bodhi shards right now, that would be friggin'
25
hilarious.
Bodhi
And I would,
shards.
I would totally take it. There's some fleet currency or something. That would be. I would laugh like really hard. That would be really funny.
I think Bodhi should replace Chewie shards. You know, like everybody should just get their Bodhi shards when they make a mistake. Here's some Bodhi.
Anytime something bad happens, we should get just bonus Bodhi shards on top of it. If they
You know,
give us
like
crystals, guild currency, they should just throw a couple Bodhis in there.
Yeah, no, anyway, you don't get shit for free from Capital Games. Everybody knows that. Bodhi Rook was the last one they ever gave us. Probably not going to get anything for this time around, which sucks. So, moving on. But shit, just bugs, I guess. You know, the Scion bug, which is kind of funny because he's new and his Zeta didn't work. And,
Yeah, so I could talk about that one.
Talk about it. Lay it on me, Tim.
He's been waiting.
So, since the update yesterday where they nerfed things, it seems like they accidentally nerfed something they didn't quite mean to. So Scion, his Zeta no longer works. Just doesn't work. It doesn't do shit. It is hilarious.
Do you have the expectation, like, if you're Capital Games, put yourself in their shoes. Is there an expectation that the Zeta should work?
Nah.
Like, hey.
No. It literally worked. It worked Monday. It worked Tuesday. It did not work Wednesday afternoon.
Well, let's see how long it takes them to fix it. You think it'll be longer than the new Gunray nerf?
They posted the message saying, we're aware of it and are working on a fix.
It took them 3 days to nerf Newt Gunray. Let's see if they can fix Scion faster than that.
I'm gonna be real pissed because I'm like, this is liable to cause people to lose people credits or like credits and crystals and shit.
And especially since they had to buy him, like, he's not even a playable character yet, really. Like, very few people have him. You had to buy him out.
Right? Like, I kind of want the character I have. Like, I'm not even, like, one of the guys is like, oh, you're just upset because you had to, or because you spent $300 on him. I'm like, no, I'm upset because I spent a Zeta on him.
Yeah, Zetas are tough to come by. So
I'm like, I spent a fucking Zeta on this guy and I don't get anything for it. That's not cool.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Especially when it says, like, all this great stuff you're supposed to get.
I'll show press as well.
Wasn't Visas Mars Zeta broken too?
I think they broke a lot of things with this hotfix.
I was just curious. I thought last week I remember reading that Visas Mar, she wasn't working either. I think they fixed it now, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
The two characters that
there was
just came
something.
out, both of their Zetas didn't work, dude. Like, both of them.
Well, no, because Scion's worked up until the patch yesterday that fixed Visasmar.
Yeah, so they swapped them out. There you go.
It's like, hey, good news, guys. Visas works. Bad news, I wouldn't really use Scion much for a while.
Yeah, cold blood.
I have one guy in my shard, and if you're listening, Yoda, fuck you for this. One guy in my shard chat was like, it's not broken, guys. People are just overreacting. CG puts out the message saying, yeah, we're aware it's broken. I was like, uh-huh.
Real smooth.
No, because
I was like, yeah.
I was fighting a team yesterday, and I was like, was like, I was like, man, this is going so much worse than it normally goes. I'm like, what gives? And then I was like, wait, where's all the hatred? Like, I just saw you hit hatred. I was like, okay, maybe it was a 15% chance to not apply. No? No? You just hit hatred. You just hit Scion like 5 times and none of you got hatred.
Stupid.
Which point we found out they broke it.
Well, hopefully they'll fix it quick and we can move on.
Which was funny because I was like, that is an impressive break.
It was working, so I imagine they can, fix it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Suddenly broken, or was she never working?
Visas Mara, I think, wasn't working in the beginning, and now she does.
Bean.
Oh,
Sabine?
I have no idea.
Gotta be honest, I'm not certain.
Not certain
She was at low stars for me for a while, but I know that she doesn't work now. Which is a bummer, because I was thinking that there's a lot of armor in this raid, and it'd be cool to use her, reduce all that armor down, and she has a triple tap, too. I don't know. Could be good.
Like you were saying before we got on the podcast, it'd be good to use with Deathmark.
Yeah, right? So if you have Deathmark up, every time she shoots, that's bam, 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 3 hits. And if you used her with other troopers, maybe that'd be cool, because you'd have such a high amount of armor penetration. Maybe with Stark or whatever. Like we said, we don't know exactly how that works, but if you could take it below 0 armor, man, you might start just picking that guy apart real quick.
You said it's not working?
The Sabine one doesn't work, yeah. It doesn't stack. You're supposed to be able to hit him a couple times with it and stack it up, but it doesn't stack. But yeah, that's the idea. I was thinking, I forget if it goes all the way up to 100%, but if you could take him up to 100% reduction, then that should put him at 0, right? And if you have Stark on your team with the troopers, isn't that another 50? So wouldn't it be at negative 50 armor? So you should just be able to shred him like butter. But I don't know if it works that way, because it's kind of, I don't know, a secret or whatever.
Well, you can't really test it because it doesn't work, so it's just...
Well, I mean, you could try it and see if you're doing more damage. I mean, that'd be the way to test it. Put Stark on the team and then see if you're doing more with the other guys or not after Sabine has them fully stacked. Because it'd either be more or the same. And if it was the same, then you would know it didn't work. But if it was more, then you know that you were getting below 0. But yeah, my Sabine and stuff is a little far off before I can test it. So, but I'm looking forward to trying.
So any other bugs that you guys are aware of here that you wanted to loop into this?
No, those are the major ones.
Yeah, not that I can think of.
I just want my Zeta back, and I'm not going to complain if I get some nice compensation for the fact that an entire Zeta was just worthless for a bit.
It's a good rule of thumb not to mess with Zetas.
Right? Like, those are important. Those are the ones you really don't want to break.
I just feel like whenever they release something, it should work. Like, and that's kind of been a thing that's not been happening lately, and I don't like it. It's weird. It shakes my confidence, makes me not want to buy stuff. Like, I haven't bought any more Scion shards because he's all screwed up.
Well, I wouldn't really... I see, I don't know if I'd want to buy him or Visas right now. I mean, like, you run Nightmare in the arena. Is it worth it? Like, really? Because it just seems a little bit underwhelming when I fight it. And it's like a very good team, but it's not a great team.
So...
Or maybe it's a great team, but it's not overpowered.
When I have my Zeta working, with 2 Zetas and 5 Gear 12s, I can't think of a team I can't beat except sometimes the mirror. Which I'm not going to count because the mirror match is just bullshit in general. And no matter what the teams. Right?
That's just an arena, a quagmire in the arena in general.
Right.
Yeah, nobody likes the mirror match.
I have seen many people have trouble with my team, though once they eventually figure out how to play it, it gets easier for them. So it goes from like 40-60 for them to like 90-10 once they figure it out. However, that Zeta makes a difference. I'm enjoying it. It is fun. And it gives me more characters to play around with for things like Darkside TB. That's why I'm kicking your ass in Darkside TB, Brendo.
You're kicking my ass in Darkside TB because my Darkside blows.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just the way it is. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's like the way I built my roster was just super light side heavy.
Gotta be balanced. There's gotta be balance in the Force, Brendo.
Room for balance when you have a finite number of resources and everything demands that you go in one direction. I mean, I hate to say it, but I responded to what I needed to do in game. I would go to it comes up. I get the team I need for the legendary event. You know, I work that, and then I go to the next panic farm. So it's like I just kind of adjust to panic farms, try to scrape by an arena.
To be fair, Brendo, don't even have Thrawn at Gear 12. How can you really call yourself a good player? You've clearly made a wrong choice if your Thrawn is not Gear 12, right, Furious?
I have. I agree
No,
with
that
this.
just means that he's rebel scum.
Alright, that's fair.
Really like to have a Gear 12 Thrawn. That would you could put
If
Thrawn.
if you don't have at least 3 to 5 Empire guys at Gear 12, rebel scum.
Rebel scum then.
I think I might have exactly 3.
And
I
you can
have
sub in a
exactly
few
3.
Sith. You could sub in a few Sith, okay.
Alright.
But yeah, if you don't have that, scum.
Let's think about this. Let's wind this up here. Do we have any last words before we do the where are we now?
Brendo needs a new mic. That's my last words. One day he's gonna get a new mic, and I will not be able to make that joke anymore. But I will still make that joke.
Well, I think a lot of it too is the server that we're on because I come in clear.
No, you really don't.
I like to think that I
That
do.
was one time.
It's enough. All right, so let's do this. Go through here. Just let's go Thrana, Furious, and Spragsy. Talk about what you're doing in the game, where you're at now.
God, I don't even remember. Oh, I'm farming bounty hunters and gearing up some bounty hunters and Chase and Rogue One. That's all I'm doing. I'm literally just like slowly gearing them. I just finished gearing Raid Han Solo to gear 11, and then I'm like, all right, he's done. Waiting on a Zeta. Yeah. So
This Zeta's really fun. Really,
he is my
fun.
next Zeta. My previous Zeta the Zeta right before him was Scion. He's next, and then it might be Veers. I'm gonna go with. I think Veers is high contender.
Yeah, Veers is a lot of fun too.
But that's my plan.
I want it to be something that I could use to make the game more fun. Veers certainly goes there. Stormtrooper, or I'm sorry, not Stormtrooper Han. If Raid Han goes there, OG Han goes there. Zetas that aren't fun are two. You know, I have both of his Zetas. They're not really fun. Just sort of necessities.
Yeah, they're damn good, but I know what you mean. You don't really like, see
yeah,
much.
That's my plan. I'm like basically done farming my ships, except for some I gotta farm on like hard nodes and stuff, and that's another mess to be done once I finish farming Phase. Bastard's not even 6 stars yet.
Baze is something you need. Baze, and I say this all the time to people. Baze is one of the easiest gears for what you get out of him. He's super easy to gear compared to other tanks that are. And once you're done with your farm, he's done.
This farm's just so annoying, and Chirrut same way because Chirrut just doesn't feel like showing up.
I want to say that I finished Baze like when he went free to play. Well, no, because I couldn't clear that node. It took me a long time to 3-star. But I think I finished Chirrut beforehand, but it wasn't by much. He's really rare. He's like as rare as General Grievous.
General Grievous, I forgot that's a character.
Got him all the way to 7 stars, and that was a long road.
I don't have him at 1 star.
It's funny that you say that because I just got my Chirrut to 7 stars, and my General Grievous needs like 30 more. So they are about even, like 30 shards behind is where I'm at on those two.
The problem with Grievous is, he's useless. That's the problem. I mean, if there was one problem that you could say, and it's just like, but he's such a great theoretical character,
Yeah, he's just one of those guys in Star Wars that I really like. So when the day comes, I'm going to be ready. Like when we're talking about, hey, there'll be a day, someday, and I'm going to be ready. I might even start putting some stuff into my B2 battle droid, I swear.
From him as well, but that's just one that I haven't got around to.
Yeah, there's no justification yet, really. But
well, he's a cantina.
Oh man, I want to.
Node and in a guild store. What do you do with that? There's just better stuff there.
Who is?
Yeah, it's nice that he's in the guild store.
Working on in the game.
I need 10 more shards to 7-star my Sabine, and I need, I think 19 more shards to 7-star my Krennic. So I'm finishing those ones up. And then I'm going to push a little more heavily onto Short Trooper and Baze. Get them finished up. Also got my Captain Han, maybe like 30 or 40 more shards, and he'll be 7 stars. And then I'm going to start Death Trooper, who's pretty low.
Shards do you need for sure?
Maybe like 100. I think he's about 6 stars right now.
Cool.
I might start refreshing the node daily. I haven't been doing that, so I might start doing that.
You need to do it once just to get 10 fights and hopefully.
Yeah, just to get 10 fights a day or whatever. And I think I might.
If you get 3 a day, you're doing well.
Yeah, exactly. Even if I'm getting 3 a day, that's pretty good. Within a month, I'll be done or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay crystals for him. I mean, he's been super. They never dropped his crystal price. Like at least with Baze and Chirrut, they dropped their crystal prices, which was nice. But Short Trooper and Krennic never got.
Oh yeah, you're right. Then I'll probably buy the Baze ones, honestly.
Oh yeah. Baze shards are cheap, dude.
Yeah. I forgot that they lowered Baze. For some reason, I thought they were the same.
In currency, you could get them in the territory battle store.
But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I just put a Zeta on Rey, and I'll probably put the next one on BB-8 just to get a little more damage out of the deal.
I like the BB-8. I recommend that. That's a fun one.
The one whenever he assists, he calls an assist. I'm probably going to do that one.
That's a fun one.
And obviously the Rey one, I did the leadership.
It's the only one I Zeta'd on her.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a goodie.
Braggs Jr., what are you doing in the game?
Finishing Kylo Ren Unmasked, about 40 shots to 7-star, and then BB-8 will be 7-star, and farming Finn, and then the vets once Kylo Ren Unmasked is done.
Now, have you started your vet farm at all, or are you getting in late?
Getting in late.
I don't fault you on that, man. There's so many different directions that you have to go in the game, The problem with them is that they're just so damned useless outside of one thing. They're central. Anything else you're working on?
No.
For me, I just hit 2.2 million GP, which is pretty awesome. I like little landmarks, and which is why I was hoping Sith and Valen were going to be here because I asked them up, which would be nice. But otherwise, I'm farming a lot of useless characters right now. I mean, we're talking Paplu, we're talking Lobot, we're talking Bodhi Rook, we're talking Ugnaught, we're talking Magnagard, we're talking Tusken Shaman, we're talking bad characters. Yeah. Probably the best one that I'm farming now is the Special Forces TIE Fighter. Say this for you guys, he is part of the good First Order team, so he's worth doing eventually. Otherwise, I mean, I'm just gearing my Imperial Troopers. I got a lot of them to gear 10. That was kind of an accomplishment, but I still screwed up that stupid. I got Veers to gear 10, Short Trooper to gear 12, Death Trooper to 10, Snow Trooper to 10. and that's pretty much it for me. I'm hoarding Zetas. I have 69 Zetas right now, so I'm just waiting for something to spend them on, which I was hoping was going to be the Night Sisters, by the way. Just a fun fact right there. I wish I could be telling you that I'm farming Talzin and Wicket right now, but I am not. But no dice there. Yeah, so otherwise that's pretty much it, guys. Anything last minute you guys want to add? Because otherwise I'm going to sign it down. I'll take the silence as being no thing that we want to talk about. So on that note, thank you for joining the Future Whales podcast. It's been fun. It's been real. We'll be back next week. And if you have any questions for us, stop by, visit us on Discord. And especially if you're looking for a guild, we have a lot of guilds in Sigma that could fit pretty much all your needs. So stop by, say hi, and subscribe to our feed. So have a great day.